The seven kingdoms of Westeros stand on the brink of war. The land, once united under a single crown, now teeters on the edge of chaos and destruction. The air is thick with tension, and the whispers of rebellion echo through the halls of power. Following the death of King Viserys I Targaryen, a bitter succession crisis erupts. The king's passing leaves a power vacuum, and the question of who should ascend to the Iron Throne becomes a matter of fierce debate and deadly intrigue. Two factions emerge, each vying for the Iron Throne. The realm is split as loyalties are tested and old alliances are shattered. The once peaceful land is now a battleground for power and supremacy. On one side stands Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, the king's firstborn child and named heir. Rhaenyra, a woman of strong will and determination, believes in her right to rule and is prepared to fight for her birthright. She is supported by those who believe in upholding her claim. Her followers, loyal and steadfast, rally behind her with unwavering support, ready to defend her honor and her claim to the throne. This faction becomes known as the Blacks. They are united by their belief in Rhaenyra's right to rule and are willing to go to great lengths to see her crowned as queen. Opposing Rhaenyra is her younger half-brother, Aegon II Targaryen. Aegon, ambitious and determined, sees himself as the rightful heir and is equally prepared to stake his claim. His supporters, the Greens, believe he is the rightful heir due to his gender. They argue that tradition and the laws of succession favour a male ruler, and they are ready to fight to ensure Aegon sits on the Iron Throne. The stage is set for a bloody civil war. The armies of the Blacks and the Greens prepare for battle, each side determined to emerge victorious. The land is poised on the edge of a knife, and the coming conflict promises to be brutal and unforgiving. The conflict is further fueled by personal ambitions, ancient rivalries, and the ever-present threat of dragons. These mighty beasts, symbols of Targaryen power, add a terrifying dimension to the war, as both sides seek to harness their destructive potential. With each passing day, the chasm between the Blacks and the Greens widens, pushing the realm closer to the precipice. The once united kingdom is now a realm divided, and the future of Westeros hangs in the balance as the storm of war looms ever closer. The fragile peace shatters when Aegon II Targaryen seizes the Iron Throne in a surprise coup. Outraged and betrayed, Rhaenyra declares war on her half-brother, igniting the Dance of the Dragons. Both sides command powerful allies and formidable dragon riders, making the conflict a terrifying spectacle of fire and blood. Dragons clash in the skies above Westeros, laying waste to cities and battlefields alike. As the war rages, alliances shift like sand in a storm. Houses great and small are forced to choose sides, often with devastating consequences. Betrayal becomes commonplace, and no one is safe from the conflict's far-reaching grasp. The Dance of the Dragons escalates with horrifying brutality. Both sides commit atrocities in the name of victory, leaving a trail of devastation and despair across the realm. Rhaenyra, despite early victories, suffers devastating losses. Her sons die in battle, pushing her to the brink of madness. Grief and paranoia consume her, casting a shadow over her reign. Meanwhile, Aegon II, though initially triumphant, faces his own share of tragedies. His cruelty and paranoia alienate his allies, weakening his grip on the throne. Across the Narrow Sea, in the vast and mysterious lands of Essos, Daenerys Targaryen, unaware of the turmoil engulfing her homeland of Westeros, continues her own quest for power and justice. Her journey is not just about reclaiming a throne, but about transforming societies. She conquers the city of Meereen, a pivotal moment in her campaign, determined to end the brutal practice of slavery and establish a just rule. Her vision is one of liberation and equality. However, Daenerys soon learns that ruling is far more complex than conquering. The challenges of governance are immense. She faces constant challenges: rebellions from those who resist change, assassination attempts from enemies lurking in the shadows, and the difficulties of forging a new society from the ashes of the old. The city of Meereen, once a symbol of oppression, now becomes a battleground for ideals. Despite the hardships, Daenerys remains resolute in her belief that she is destined for greatness. Her unwavering determination is her greatest strength. Her dragons, now grown to fearsome size, are not just weapons of war, but a testament to her power and a symbol of her unique destiny. They inspire fear in her enemies and hope in her followers, and a symbol of hope for a better future. As she navigates the complexities of leadership, Daenerys dreams of a world where justice prevails and freedom is a right for all. Far to the north, at the edge of civilization, where the cold bites and the winds howl, lies the Wall, a massive fortification of ice and stone. Jon Snow, the newly appointed Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, faces his own trials and tribulations. As the leader of this ancient order, he must navigate the treacherous politics and harsh realities of life at the Wall. He struggles to maintain order among his brothers, who are a diverse group of men with their own agendas and loyalties. The growing threat from beyond the Wall, where the White Walkers and their army of the dead gather strength, looms ever larger. Wildlings, driven south by the approaching winter and the terror of the White Walkers, seek refuge in the Seven Kingdoms. These free folk, once enemies of the Night's Watch, now look to Jon for salvation. Jon, understanding the danger they pose if left unchecked, must find a way to bridge the ancient divide between the Watch and the Wildlings. He knows that unity is their only hope against the coming storm. His decision to allow the Wildlings' passage south is met with resistance and outright hostility from some within the Watch. Many of his brothers see the Wildlings as their sworn enemies and cannot fathom the idea of peace. Jon soon finds himself surrounded by enemies, his leadership and loyalty questioned at every turn. The weight of his decisions bears heavily on him as he tries to balance the needs of his people with the greater good. In the face of betrayal and dissent, Jon must prove that he is the leader the Night's Watch needs, even if it means sacrificing everything he holds dear. In the heart of the Seven Kingdoms, Tyrion Lannister, exiled from his family and falsely accused of murder, finds himself entangled in the dance of the dragons. Using his cunning and political acumen, Tyrion becomes a key advisor to Daenerys Targaryen. He sees in her a chance to reshape the fate of Westeros, and perhaps atone for the sins of his family. Tyrion's guidance proves invaluable to Daenerys as she navigates the treacherous waters of Essosi politics. He becomes her confidant and strategist, helping her to build an army and gather the resources she needs to reclaim her birthright. The Dance of the Dragons reaches its cataclysmic peak in a series of devastating battles. King's Landing becomes a battleground, ravaged by dragonfire and consumed by the fires of war. Rhaenyra, broken by grief and driven to madness, loses the support of her people. She flees the city only to meet a tragic end at the claws of her half-brother's dragon. Aegon II, though victorious, is left a broken and disfigured shell of his former self, His victory comes at a terrible cost, leaving the realm in ruins and his own dynasty hanging by a thread.